Hi fans, hi everyone. Today I'm ranking the Beatles US albums and I'm talking about those albums that were released only in North America, which means the United States plus Canada. So this is exactly the same list from the CD box set, the Beatles US albums box set. There are 13 albums plus Magical Mystery Tour. Of course, with the CD reissue, Magical Mystery Tour became an official album. It became a worldwide album, but initially it was a North American release. So, 14 albums, and here we go. So at number 14 is the famous Beatles story. Yeah. Uh, this was a cash-in album. This is not the real Beatles album, and I'm pretty sure for John, Paul, George, and Ringo, this was not their favorite album, but it was an official North American release with the Beatles story at number 14. It's just a documentary, with fragments of songs. Nothing really interesting. So the Beatles story at number 14. Okay, number 13 is Beatles 6. And this is not a bad album. I like the selection, 8 days a week, Bad Boy, I don't want to spoil the party, what you're doing, every little thing, but they were so hard to rank. So, still a good album. The Beatles 6 at number 13. Number 12, this might be surprising or maybe a controversial choice. I don't know. But the album I pick is Meet the Beatles. And once again, not a bad album. It's a good album, but I really like the songs from the side one. I Wanna Hold Your Hand, I Saw Her Standing There, All I've Gotta Do, Home My Loving. This Voice is a nice song too. But I don't love the songs from the side two as much as I love the songs from the side one. On the side two, there are songs like Don't Bother Me, Not a Second Time. Pretty good songs, but I'm not too crazy about Little Child, Till There Was You, Hold Me Tight, And that's why it's number 12 on my list. Meet the Beatles. Okay, 14, 13, 12. Okay, number 11. And maybe number 11 and then could be switched. But I think at the moment I would go for Magical Mystery Tour at number 11. And this is a good psychedelic album. Uh, I really like the title track. I know that many people are not too crazy about this title track, Magical Mystery Tour, but really like the music. But my favorites are Strawberry Fields Forever, I Am the Walrus, Baby You're a Rich Man. Also like Blue Jay Way. So Magical Mystery Tour at number 11. Number 10 is Revolver. And of course, the North American version, the Capital Revolver, was not as strong as the UK, because they removed 3 songs here. I'm Only Sleeping in Your Bird Can Sing and Dr. Robert. But it was still a good album, not as strong as the UK version, but we still have songs like Paxman, Eleanor Rigby, She Said, For No One, Tomorrow Never Knows. Still a good album. But it's number 10 on my list, the Beatles' Revolver. Okay, coming at number 9, I went for something new. So there are a couple of songs from the UK Hard Day's Night, plus other songs. And my favorites here are Things We Said Today, Anytime at All, uh, If I Fell and I Love Her, of course, great songs. Uh, I'll Cry Instead is nice. So something new at number 9. Number 8 is the Beatles 65. No Reply, I'm a Loser, I'll Follow the Sun. Three good songs. But those I love best are I'll Be Back and those reverb versions of I Feel Fine and She's a Woman. I always prefer the reverb versions here compared to the UK versions. So the Beatles 65 at number 8. Number 7 is the early Beatles, which is the same songs list compared to the UK Please Please Me, except they remove I Saw Her Standing There, There's a Place, and there's another song to do. There are 11 songs here. And I really like Hannah, Ask Me Why, A Taste of Honey. I know that many people think it sounds like a granny song, but really like A Taste of Honey. Do You Want to Know a Secret? Please Please Me. And it's number 7 on my list. And by the way, the VJ album, the introducing the Beatles, could be equal at number 7, but this was a VJ release. So the early Beatles at number 7. Okay, number 6 is A Hard Day's Night, and of course this was the soundtrack, with songs like A Hard Day's Night, Can Buy Me Love, I Should Have Known Better, and I Love Her If I Fell. Just the songs from the movie. Plus, I'll Cry Instead, because initially they were supposed to include that song in the movie, but at the last minute they cut off the song. So it's a good album, even if there are only 7 or 8 songs. Yeah, there are 8 songs. I'm not too crazy about the instrumentals, but it's still a good album. And of course, the album was initially released on United Artists, but there were capital reissues later, and I don't know the whole story about that. I think United Artists was sold to the Capitol Company, but anyway, it became a Capitol release. So A Hard Day's Night soundtrack at number 6. Number 5 for me is the Beatles' second album. And what I love best about this album, first of all, I think there are pretty good songs. Roll Over Beethoven, Thank You Girl, You Can Do That, Long Tall Sally, I'll Call Your Name, I'll Get You, She Loves You. What I love best is the stereo sound here. What a great sound! That's why I ranked the album as high. So the Beatles' second album at number 5. Number 4. This might be surprising and controversial choice, maybe, but I went for Help, and even as a soundtrack, there's only 7 songs, 7 Beatles songs, but I love these Beatles songs so much. Help, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, The Night Before, I Need You, Ticket to Ride. I always love these songs so much. And I think the instrumental, even if the instrumentals are not Beatles songs, I think they're pretty cool. I really like From Into You Fantasy, Another Hard Day's Night, The Chase. It's still a pretty good album, not as strong as the UK version, but it's still a pretty cool album to listen to for me. And it's number 4 on my list, Help. Okay, let's continue at number 3 is Hey Jude, which is almost like a compilation, but it was an official North American release. And I really like, this mixture with songs like Can Buy Me Love and I Should Have Known Better that were released in 1964, with other songs like Paperback Writer and Rain from 1966, and later songs like Old Brown Shoe, Ballad of John and Yoko. Pretty good album. So Hey Jude at number 3. Okay, number 2 for me is Yesterday and Today. And I always love, that mixture here with songs from the UK Rubber Soul, the UK Revolver. I think there are 2 songs from Help. And my favorites are Nowhere Man, I'm Only Sleeping, And Your Bird Can Sing, If I Needed Someone. Really love the songs from the side too. And Your Bird Can Sing, If I Needed Someone. We Can Work It Out, Day Tripper. Yesterday, just a little, I'm getting tired of hearing that song, but it's still a great song. And it's number 2 on my list, Yesterday and Today. And finally, at number 1 for me is Rubber Soul. I don't agree with people who says that the US version is better than the UK. I prefer the UK, but I think the US version was still a great version anyway. I love the way the album starts, with "I Just Seen a Face" instead of "Drive My Car." Norwegian Wood, many great songs there. Norwegian Wood, Think for Yourself, Michelle, It's Only Love from the UK, Help, Girl in My Life, Wait. Pretty good album, and it's number 1 on my list, Rubber Soul. So that was it for my ranking. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'd like to know what is your personal ranking or just your favorite US or North American albums. So thanks for watching and see you for my next video.